Poison is as poison does. That's what Mama always says.
Poison. Nothing like with the lead singer Brett Michaels, and he has. Did you know that's a wig? So
No.
it's like that bandana thing. It's because he has like a freaking
Male pattern baldness.
yeah, I think it's worse. I think it's a. So I knew a
Alopecia?
girl who was a hairdresser, and she said that's a freaking weave. So like it's built in, and then when he puts that thing on, it covers it up, and he has what do they call it? Extensions, and then like hangs down.
I don't know what they call it, but I'll
Yeah.
take your word for it. Clearly, I know nothing about it.
Yeah, I had no idea, dude. I had no
God.
idea. I was like, why wouldn't you just shave your fucking head? Dude,
Right.
This isn't 1985 anymore. You lost your hair. Let's move on with it.
Some of those people are so vain, though, man. Keep us talking for a minute. I'm going to sharify a little bit. But what I thought we'd talk about tonight, as you can see on the banner, is that hey, let's talk about 16 Candles, the movie.
Yeah, let's talk about why you want to talk about 16 Candles.
That's more importantly why. So, my kids are finally at that age where they're in middle school, and Isabella will be a freshman next year, and now they're going to school dances. And when the kids came home last Friday night, I said, "Hey, how's the dance?" It was okay. I said, "Did you dance?" No. What the hell are you going to a dance for if you're not going to dance? And then I immediately had a flash of the movie 16 Candles when he's in there selling the panties or the picture of the panties or whatever. You know, it's like, oh Jesus Christ, man, this is my life now.
So nobody danced, or just them?
Just them.
Do you know what I was thinking about when you mentioned that was "Can't Buy Me Love"? Remember African Annie to dance, and that was like the school. That was a huge thing back then, right? It was a school dance.
Yeah.
And I guess they don't dance anymore.
I don't know, man. But you know what? To be fair, is I really didn't dance either when I went.
I didn't either, dude, because tough guys didn't dance, right?
That's right.
Yeah, that's right. That was a big thing for us. Like, I don't know anybody that danced. Like slow dance, maybe.
Yeah, that's different.
Yeah, that's quite a bit different. You could get close, but I don't remember anybody getting out there and really just cut loose. You know,
there was one or two that may or may not have been, how do you say, hitting for the other team.
Yeah,
it was out there dancing. Not that I'm judging, but you got that going for you.
Right.
I'm just doing a little sharifying here. Forgive me while we're.
Yeah, I actually watched 16 Candles. That's probably been a couple of years. It's funny how time flies when you start to get old. It's about a couple of years ago, but I've seen it so many times. And of course, when it was on HBO, it was on the HBO loop. And that's a big it's John Hughes, right? We've talked a lot about John Hughes.
John Hughes.
But it was a big show with everybody, but especially with girls. Girls really, I think it was Jake Ryan, right?
It was a you know what? Yeah, it was pretty much an 80s kind of chick flick in a way, but it had enough in it for the dudes too. It was a good movie.
He knew how to do that right balance, and you're right. It had enough to make us laugh because you had the king of the dipshits, Michael Anthony Hall, and then you liked all of the guys. It was all funny. And then the girls got the Molly Ringwald side, which guys didn't think she was cute, but girls could identify with her really well for some reason.
I don't get it, man, because she didn't do anything for me.
No, and she was like his thing because she was in Pretty in Pink,
16 Candles,
Breakfast Club. Yeah, she was like, and I think she pissed him off. Like, and I think somewhere she said something, got kind of big for her britches, and pissed him off, and they kind of split ways for a while.
Shocking.
Yeah.
So the movie, again, I thought it was I just watched it recently myself, maybe 6-7 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
So the movie was good. Going back, watching it as an adult now, different perspective than when I was a kid and watched it.
Well, of course, but
because I'm trying to remember when that movie came out.
84, 85, probably. Look it up.
Yeah, I could look it up, couldn't I? But because 16 Candle. Let's see, when did the movie?
I'm going to say 83, 84, 85. It's in that area. 84.
Yeah. So, yeah, I was in junior high school when that came out. So, of course, I related to it from a preteen teen perspective.
But the perfect age group.
Yeah.
In like Breakfast Club, I hadn't been in high school yet, but I could completely identify with what I'd seen that show so many freaking times too. Hughes was a genius. I mean, you could go on down the line. I think we've talked, freaking your favorite Christmas show, right? Christmas Vacation.
Mhm.
I mean, he did all of that. We should do a John Hughes perspective someday.
We should.
Cover that. But
So,
that's one of his more popular ones was 16 Candles, right? And it had
right.
the big song Spandau Ballet, True.
Yes. Good evening, Mr. Spencer. My favorite character in that movie, though, by far, was the Donger. Stop American girlfriend.
Yeah, he was great.
Dog,
I
I need
so
food.
weird to us too because it was like, we'd always knew Bruce Lee, we knew Asians, but we didn't get to see that. I don't think, at least I hadn't, that comedic side to the Asians and how funny they could be, especially intertwined inside of our culture that we knew.
Right.
And I was in Nebraska, so it wasn't like a big Asian state,
right?
But
go figure.
Yeah, right. Yeah, but it was
because there's nothing but corn there.
No,
if there was rice,
it's actually bigger than what
now.
You
if
think.
there was rice, be a
see
different fucking story.
Man, that's bad.
Yeah, well, I'm just living and telling it from experience because
you can get away with it though.
For those that don't know, my wife is Asian.
Yeah, you'll get away with it.
She make a lot of rice.
But I didn't. That for us, that was a big thing, man, to get to see. I think it was to see that comedic side.
Yeah.
Normally we'd see a more serious, like Kung Fu Theater, which I would watch the shit out of. Yeah.
I'll fight you with my knee. Oh, wait, did it do it again? No. There it is.
Yeah, so it was big. So he was your favorite. I thought Anthony Michael Hall was. And then there's kind of a rape in it, right? Isn't there like a rape?
It's very questionable. Today's standards would absolutely be sexual assault. You name it.
And they were always so cool with it. That's what was great about the 80s is they just kind of wrote that shit off, right? Like the girls, oh, that's fine. I don't mind.
It was kind of
like
mind
being raped.
It was kind of like a date rape, really, because she was drunk as all get out, passed out drunk.
Yeah. And is it... Going back and looking at it, is it? I mean, it is what it is. Do you think that we've changed? Because like I love Revenge of the Nerds, but every time I go back and I see that scene, and that is, by the way, rape. That's rape by deception. The Darth Vader mask, he's leading her on.
Right.
It's a rape. If she wants to log a complaint, he's probably going to jail,
For
right?
Sure.
When I see it, I don't know if I can write that off because of the times. Because I don't know if. I was a kid when I seen it. As an adult seeing it, I'm like, oh boy, I just don't think that people looked at movies like, well, it's just a fucking movie. There's a lot of shit that happened in movies. People kill people all the time, and we don't.
And you know
break
what?
It down.
Movies should be that way.
Yeah,
it's our escape. It's our only escape. And we've talked about this many, many times. I don't want to hear your woke crap in a movie because I have to deal and live with it every single day. Let me have 2 hours of freedom.
Right. And I think that's where we knew the difference was we watched all kinds of shit growing up as a kid. Like we didn't go out. Like I seen Friday the 13th when I was like fucking 10. I never cut anybody's head off.
Right.
Like we didn't do that. We knew the difference.
That we
knew it was wrong that we know of. Right. But I think that's as a culture we understood. It's just meant for entertainment. Yeah, no one should go do that.
No one back then was making a movie to send a message.
Yeah, you looked at, most likely if you looked at that, if you were the guy in the Darth Vader mask and you did that in real life, then you were probably just fucked up anyway.
Right.
Yeah, and most of us could, even as kids, could identify like, well, it's just a movie. It's just meant to be funny. Don't actually go do that. And I think that's the difference. I don't think today, I think we feel like we're just walking on eggshells where we got to be like, that's wrong. It's just wrong.
100%.
Yeah.
And you can't go anywhere without somebody telling you what a piece of crap you are for a white straight male that's manly. Everything we do is wrong. We're the evil man. And I get tired of that. And I just want to watch a movie, man.
Yeah.
So going back to watching movies like these are great because I know I don't have to worry about any subliminal messages in there. It's just meant to entertain.
Mm-hmm.
So,
but that like what we're talking about, well, you probably a decent person probably, but they were both drunk. I don't know. I can't. Well, it's probably not the right thing to do, but it is just a movie,
right? And when they woke up in the morning, she was okay with it.
Yeah, that's how they always wrote it. That's what I mean. They always wrote it in like that. Like, she's going to be just fine with this.
Yeah, I'm okay.
But what if she wasn't? What if she's like, what the shit? Well, she found out later, oh my God, we had sex. And then she's like calling the cops. There's rape kits everywhere.
Or had her boyfriend beat the shit out of him.
Let's reboot 16 Candles in a whole different way. Like after the fact, the rape kit fact, moving on past that.
Let's not, because then we have to go Roe versus Wade, and
we're on trial. Our lawyer is cross-examining. He's fucking bringing up the whole, well, and right before he rapes her, he has her underwear. Did you or did you not have her underwear in the men's restroom? Well, that wasn't her underwear, it was someone else's, but you had someone's underwear.
And you paid for it. And so you are a habitual sex offender.
Yeah, Your Honor, I'd like to bring in my first witness. This is a friend of his that will say that he had never had sex until that very night, and that night that he held up the underwear prior to the rape. You can like make a hole, go down a whole rabbit hole there.
Could you imagine bringing in Donga?
Donga is a witness.
Donga need food. Donga no see nothing.
Well, what about the ditzy sister that was getting married? And then there was, remember that weird guy? He was in a ton of shit.
Oh, yeah.
What was his name? He's dead. He just died, I think.
What?
Yeah, not too long ago. That the guy, right? It was the guy that he's like, he always had a slick back, longer
the Puerto
hair.
Rican dude?
Yeah. He's dead now. I think he just died.
No
I heard he's a pretty good guy, like in real life.
I'm trying to remember. I think it's Raul something. Fuck, I don't even know where to begin. So I'm not going to. He was in, it's funny. He always played that kind of character too.
Always, yeah.
Because there was there was a Rodney Dangerfield movie that came out, and I can't remember the name of it.
No, God dang it. Easy Money.
Easy Money.
Maybe that's what I'm thinking of. He was going to marry his daughter too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Am I thinking of that?
Maybe so.
Look up the cast of 16 Candles.
Cast of 16 Candles. Stand by. Well,
you're right on it. It's not going to be that big of a standby. Just hit cast.
Tell me my business, devil woman. When do they come out of the closet?
Yeah, but you're right. Like there's
Let's see. Is he in, there was a lot of people in there. The grandparents were creepy as fuck, though, weren't they?
Yeah. Well, it was like that in Weird Science too, which was John Hughes. Remember, like those grandparents were kind of weird.
I guess he's not in there.
Maybe
we're wrong, thinking of that other show. Got to be.
Are we thinking of the janitor in Breakfast Club? Because he was in a ton of Hughes films too.
I don't know. Maybe. Huh. You remember how dorky John Cusack was in that movie? I swear I was not a big Anthony Michael Hall fan. However, Weird Science, man. I love that movie. I watched that movie.
Yeah, it's classic.
Over and over and over to the point where I could probably still remember some quotes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to attempt them, but yeah, you're stewed buttwad.
That's Chet, right?
Yeah.
Bill Paxton, dead.
He was such an underrated actor, man. He had been in so much.
I thought he was awful.
Really?
Yeah, dude, because one of my favorite movies was Tombstone. And I thought he fucked that. Come on, why? Yeah, like it was just always the same.
Way to take the wind out of my sail.
Yeah, I'm not giving you Bill Paxton. I'll give you anybody but Bill Paxton. Like every time he was in, again, that was one of my favorite movies, and I want to like him as Morgan. But it's like, damn, dude.
I liked him in Aliens. game over, man.
Yeah, he was good in Aliens.
We're all
But
gonna
what
die,
about Twister?
man.
Like,
I didn't watch Twister.
you know what he was kind of good in? And I recently went back and watched it. Man, it's a good fucking movie. I think we've talked about it recently, but Nightcrawler with Gyllenhaal. And he's the guy that he starts out with when he wants to get into the business of journalism or filming, paparazzi filming. He's the main guy at the beginning, and he's pretty good in that. But I don't know if it's more. I think it's more because the movie's it's such a dark setting, and he kind of just you kind of can forget. Come on, what?
Right.
God damn it!
He's kind of like the utility player, you know. He throw him in a lot of different movies.
Yeah. That's it in a nutshell. Because there was never a time when Bill Paxton's in this. Thank God.
Was he in The Abyss? I can't remember if he was in that.
I know Michael Biehn was in that, right?
That's a great movie. I've been trying to find it.
Yeah, we've talked about that recently.
Again.
Yeah, me too. I know.
I can't find it.
You can, but it's always when we don't want to watch it. Like when we don't want to watch it, it's on Prime free.
Of course.
But when you want to watch it, it's like they want to charge you $19.
Right. I'm thinking. I got to be thinking of a different movie. He's not. He was not in The Abyss. I don't believe.
Huh. He was in a ton of shit though, dude. He was like in everything.
Well, fuck it. Let's just look it up. Bill Paxton.
I think it already came up. Twister, because that was his big hit. Yeah. Twister, and that was a huge movie, and he still really couldn't get it going.
Yeah, he's just kind of one of them guys that was almost good enough.
Frailty. No, Frailty's awesome, dude. Have you ever seen that?
I don't think.
That's a good movie.
That.
Yeah,
that is a good movie.
That's a good movie. He was on Titanic. That's right. Fuck. God, dude, he got in True Lies. He was great in True Lies.
He was.
He was great. And that's where he's like, God damn it. I got a small meat. This is pathetic. Like, he was really good in that.
I forgot he was in Navy SEALs.
Was he?
Yep.
I haven't seen it. When did Navy SEALs come out?
1990.
That's when I seen it.
Yeah. It was horrible. That's all I can say. It was
Stripes, that's right. He was the guy in the barracks.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. God, Stripes is good.
Evening, Vinny. Yeah, Stripes. Man, I can't tell you how many times I saw that. It was on that HBO loop for a long time.
Yeah.
And I would stay up and watch it.
You get boobies. Yeah. Was it PJ? What was her name? She was in Halloween too. Halloween the original, but she was married to Dennis Quaid.
Yeah.
PJ something.
No, I was gonna say Harvey. It's not PJ Harvey. It's I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
You're talking the blonde chick, right?
Yeah, she was. Yeah, she was
dirty.
She was always. Anytime she was in a movie, you got to see boobs.
Yes, and I like boobies.
You do like boobies.
I do.
We all like boobies.
I like them a lot.
We all like boobs.
So yeah, I saw that movie so many times. John Candy was great.
Yeah, he's great in everything.
Never would have made it through boot camp, but John Candy was great. It's such a, to anybody that's ever been in the military, it's a complete and total farce. And it's, you have to suspend your realism button for that movie and just enjoy it for the comedy it was meant to be. Because there's no way that shit would have happened.
PJ Souls.
Yeah. Okay.
PJ Souls. Yeah.
Who the fuck's PJ Harvey?
I don't know.
I don't know why that name popped in my head.
Who knows, dude? Yeah, that was like when they made them buzz the do or whatever. They had to cut their hair off. And,
yeah.
I just recently watched Police Academy, and I know they get bad, dude. I made a marathon one day. This was like a while back. I didn't know there was like 7 of them, 6 or 7. I sat and watched them all from fucking beginning to end.
Holy
the whole time, each time I'd end one, it would say, next up. I'm like, holy shit.
Okay.
I'd be yelling up into the bedroom and go, did you know? To the bed, did you know there's 5 police academies? And then I got up all the way up to 7. I go, did you know there's 7 police academies? But the first one, dude, when they go to shave their hair off, and it's just take it all the way down, and both those idiots do. And then the freaking Raul, that's Raul, right? He gets in, gets his hair, and like, just touch around the ear a little bit. You don't have to shave it? No.
That wasn't Raul. That dude. It's funny. You watch that movie, and in the movie, he's like, "I'm not even Hispanic."
That's right. Yeah, yeah. He's like playing all the women. How do you do it, man? Like, I'm not even just some dude.
The Latin
Yeah.
lover. But I don't remember the sergeant, the blonde with the huge hooters.
Yeah, so she was from where I was from. Like, I mean, quite a bit older. I didn't know that till later, but she was up in Lincoln, Nebraska. I think she came out of there. She was in a ton of shit, dude. Like, I've seen Love Boat. She was in, yeah, she was back. She's in a lot of older TV shows and shit like that.
Love Boat.
It's good stuff. If you want nostalgia, watch that show, dude.
It's I don't know if I could nowadays, man.
It's not bad. I mean,
Really?
it's not. Yeah, because it's funny to go back and see all the people and go, shit, I forgot about that guy. Like that guy was a thing.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, you knew you were big if you made it on the Love Boat.
Yeah,
and Fantasy Island.
Yeah, but where do you see Fantasy Island at? Because you can find a Love Boat anywhere. But I'd like to watch the Fantasy Island just to see.
I don't know if because they came out with the rebooted version, which sucks.
That was fucking terrible.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Well, as soon as it said Blumhouse, I was like, ugh.
Yeah, it was awful, man. I think I got through half of one episode, and I'm just like, ugh.
Well, it was a movie, wasn't it? There was a movie. Okay, maybe I didn't know that it was a series.
Oh yeah, because I think it came, if I remember correctly, and I don't, but I want to say it came on after the Love Boat. Because it was a little more. I think
you're right, and that was with Hermes, because he was in. He ended up getting that role because he was in. God damn it! Not The Spy Who Loved Me, but the one before that. Roger Moore. He was in.
Hervé Villachez.
Yeah. The second Bond movie, because he was in The Spy Who Loved Me, and then he did The Man with the Golden Gun. He was in that. It was kind of the same role. He was like his little assistant working on the island.
Now, how would that float in today's society?
The little guy?
He's a fucking midget. He's Asian, and he's somebody's personal assistant. Jesus
Don't forget,
Christ.
At the end of The Man with the Golden Gun, when he comes out, because Moore's on the boat with the girl who's got the hot. What was her fucking name? Normally I know this. They're on the boat getting ready, knocking it out, and he comes out to try to kill Bond. And Bond takes him in that fucking suitcase. Yeah, he picks that big suitcase up and traps him in it. Fucking picture that, dude. How's that going over today? He traps him in the suitcase, and then next thing you know, you see him on the boat, and he's got him in that little cage, just out with the fucking sails.
It's like the original Roach Motel.
Yeah, dude, just picture that shit today. You got a little Asian midget out there, and you trap him in a suitcase like a leprechaun, like you caught it stealing your gold.
It's a good thing about nobody knowing us. You can't cancel us. So
no, he blew his fucking brains out.
No, I'm talking about they can't cancel us. Nobody knows us. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no one cares.
Can't cancel somebody who doesn't give a shit.
Right.
But yeah, wow, that would fly over like a fart in church nowadays.
Yeah.
A wet fart.
Yeah, a lot of people thought he was bad. I liked him in that. I thought he was good in it. Like a little villain. He was like a little sidekick that was just kind of there in the background. But
well, of course, that's where the whole Austin Powers and Dr. Evil and Mini-Me came from.
Maud Adams was the one. She played because she actually played two Bonds. Yeah, she was in 2 Roger Moore films. They gave her that second role. Or they gave it Octopussy later on because they thought that they killed her off too soon in The Man with the Golden Gun, which was a brutal death. Do you remember that death?
No. I would probably if you reminded me.
It's fucking cool because he comes in, it's like a boxing match or something, and Roger Moore's supposed to meet her to make an exchange, and she's sitting there with a hat on, but she's, he sits down and goes, I got the stuff or whatever. However, that sounds like Sylvester Stallone. But he realized she's not moving, and her eyes are still wide open, but she had been shot through the heart from a distance by Scaramanga, who was a bad guy.
Bon Jovi.
No, that's a good one though. Good play. No, Scaramanga had shot her, and he shot her just right. Remember, because he said it's a precise shot, Mr. Bond. He goes, not every man can do it, but he shot her so good that her heart would stop, and she wouldn't move afterwards. Period. Because she was just sitting there in a fucking chair.
Who shot her again?
Scaramanga. He was the bad guy.
Can you do the Fandango?
Thunderbolt and lightning. The first one was good. That one fucking sucked.
No, that was good, man. What are you talking about?
But what was I saying?
Shot through the
so Maud Adams, they brought her back for Octopussy, but that's who that was. She was pretty hot. Yeah. She was in Rollerball too.
That was Octopussy's like I think one of the first Bond films that I saw,
Yeah,
and then I
Octopussy.
went back, and tried to catch up. And I'd say to me, my personal favorite was Roger Moore.
Dude, totally. Who did I listen to? Is Pierce Morgan the other day asking a couple critics on it, and they were, of course, everyone always says Connery. And to me, it's Moore.
Yeah,
Man, I love fucking, but you know me, I love Moore. Like I got,
Moore,
and he was a good guy in life too. Just
Moore,
in
cock,
more. Actually, my Bond collection is called Moore Bond. Moore.
Clever.
Yeah,
Clever.
I think so.
But
yeah, he's my favorite.
Octopussy was good. I did not like Pierce. What's his name?
Brosnan.
Yeah, whoever that.
Yeah,
guy
I thought he was good. I thought he was good at it. And Dalton was good. It's Craig that sucks.
Craig does.
Craig's fucking terrible.
I think the reason why I didn't like what's his face is that my mom used to watch this show all the time, and it had him in it, and I forget.
Remington Steele.
Yes, Remington Steele.
I've never seen it, dude, but I remember it was really popular. He was so skinny.
Yeah,
like he was just a fucking beanpole. I
just could not get him out of my head as that dude because she watched that show all the time.
Really?
And you remember how it was back then. You didn't have multiple TVs.
You had two.
Right.
One was always in their room and one was in the living room. Right. And they'd lock up the living room all the time.
Right. And you know what? You get the same, you don't like what you're watching, go somewhere else.
Yeah. Well, we were playing. We were doing what kids don't do. We were dancing.
Right. Hey.
Yeah. I'd never seen Remington Steele, but I didn't mind him. I thought he was good. Some of his movies, a GoldenEye is fucking awesome, dude. Like if I were going to show my kids a Bond, I'd probably show them that one because it's quick, it's fast, it's got a little story to it. You don't need to know Bond. There's a few that if you don't like Bond, I think you could like. From Russia with Love's a good one. GoldenEye is a great one.
I'm gonna go back and watch GoldenEye. At least try to. Do you have it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Was on DVD or
I got them on file, but I can get them on DVD. You can get them anywhere you can go to the freaking what's a place called? Not the Humane Society. What's wrong with me? I can't think tonight. Goodwill. They'll have them there. You can get a whole DVD set for like $10. Or just
watch it.
They're always on TV. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll look.
But I can get it for you. For sure. I can get a whole collection for you.
Bond.
I could watch them a million times. Like I could Dr. No was great. Even the shit ones, dude. Sometimes the shittier for me the better. Like people hate View to a Kill. I fucking love View to a Kill.
I didn't mind View to a Kill.
Yeah, just they say he was too old, like
who's they?
Well, just the critics, because it's easy to fall back on that and go, well, it's just not real well written. It's not well told. He's too old for the role. Like he was 56 at the time, and it wasn't his fault. They just couldn't. They didn't want to replace him because he was guaranteed sales.
Right.
They tried. They were going to for Octopussy actually, and I think how it went down was Connery was coming back for what was one? Never Say Never Again, and they were bringing him back because there was a conflict with the story that was Thunderball. The guy that owned, two creators owned that. And that guy helped write that one. So he ended up getting the rights to that. So they were going to bring Connery back and do that. So they kept Moore on to do Octopussy. And those came out the same year. But that's why they kept Moore.
Sean Connery. What were your thoughts on the talk of having Idris Elba as the new Bond?
I could have handled that. Because I like him.
He's a manly man.
Yeah, to me, it's not about. I agree I know why they'd be doing it,
right?
But at least if they're going to do it, that's the guy you do it with,
right?
I can get down with that.
Yeah.
It's not. It doesn't follow the books. I've read the books. It's not the same thing, but I know how they work today. Mm-hmm. They want to wash that any way they can. Fine. If you're going to do it, though, do it with him. Yeah.
Whatever happened with that?
Well, he turned it down. And he turned it down for good reason, because he was like, I'm not going to play the game. And he's actually a big advocate for you earn it.
Yeah.
I want to earn it my way. I don't need you to hand me something and do it because it was handed to me for a color thing. So he's totally against all this too. He's like, I think he did that show. It's pretty popular too. It's on BBC or something like that. He's like a detective.
Oh, okay.
Ruth. What am I thinking of?
I don't know, but he's a damn good actor.
Yeah, he's good, dude. I like him a lot, but he didn't want no part of it, and that's why they asked me. I was like, I'm not going to play that game. I know why you're doing it. I know why you're asking me.
I respect that.
Yeah,
I would have actually liked to seen him.
Mm-hmm.
Who was the dude? I think he was in between Roger Moore and
Dalton.
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah, he was real good. He's probably actually the closest to Bond. If you read the books, in terms of the mentality, Bond's kind of cold.
Yeah.
Um,
Why did he not last very long? Do you suspect?
So, from what I had heard, they thought they were going to take a hiatus or something, and he had went and taken something else. I think, I'm not certain. In that time, was going to come back for it, but then something else happened. Might have something to do with the Screen Actors Guild or some shit like that. It generally would be. And then he just said, moving on. And then they brought in Brosnan because I think they were looking at Brosnan back when they had met Brosnan through. God, what was it? I think not For Your Eyes Only. I think it was Octopussy because there's a scene where he's in a hot tub with a girl real quick. He'd swim on the ocean and he'd met her. He knew her. She was some Russian spy. And that was Brosnan's wife at the time. So Brosnan was on set a lot and they knew him from then. They thought about bringing him in as early as 85 before Dalton, but then he signed for Remington Still. Couldn't do it. They finally got him again like in 93 because Bond took a long layover from that period on. And then we got rid of it was Brosnan, and then we got Craig, and then it went to shit.
Do you know? Have you heard through the rumor mill who they're going to pick next? Or are they going to stick with fucking Mr. Borophil?
Yeah. He's done, dude. Did you see the last one? No, they killed him. They killed James Bond. Yeah, spoiler alert, he's fucking dead. They killed him off. So there's a black girl that's in it. Barbara Broccoli's running the show now. Her dad's dead, of course. She's running the show. She's kind of gotten in with this woke shit, the whole thing, instead of just treating Bond like what he is, Right. And he's actually not that bad. If you read the books, you realize the movies kind of do him a little bit different, a little bit more tongue in cheek. He's actually just a spy. There's some weakness. There's some, he's likes to drink, likes to gamble. Yeah, he's human. And she's gotten way down with this woke shit to the point where Christopher fucking Nolan, who just won all these awards.
What's up, Rail?
He came out and said, I want to do Bond. He was giving me 2 pictures. So they were trying to negotiate pictures, but Nolan doesn't fucking negotiate. So what happened was he said they were trying to negotiate. Well, here's my theory. If Christopher Nolan comes knocking on your door and says, I want to, this is before he just cleaned house on the academies. If he knocks on your door and says, I want to do Bond, you fucking sign that contract that day, get it written up and get him in there. But here's what worries me is he doesn't negotiate. He does it his way. He wanted to go back and make it like a period piece. So it would have been like 1950s or shit like that, back when Fleming was writing them.
Right.
And they said, and this is what's scary. They said, we don't know if we want to go that direction, which means 2 things were going on there in the room. One was he knew if he made it a period piece, they'd have to leave out the woke shit because it didn't exist then.
Right.
They didn't want to do that because they also know they'd have to leave out the woke shit. So I don't know if whatever happened with it, or probably still after what happened the other night, he cleaned 7 out of 7 awards. Yeah, he fucking kicked ass.
That is something I absolutely could not care any less.
Yeah, I don't watch them, but I heard about it. And I was kind of happy to see it look like it wasn't as woke. Like they weren't just giving awards based upon, like the Barbie and shit. They were giving them where they were due. But dude, I mean, that's a no-brainer. If you're a Bond, if you're in business to make a movie and you're in business to make a good movie, you want to entertain people, if you care about the product at all that your dad brought, Alfred Broccoli,
Clearly not.
if you clearly don't, you're more concerned about the activism. But if you care about that, then if that guy comes to you, I mean, that's a no-brainer for me. Hey, I want to do your movies. Fuck, dude, I can't. They'd be masterpieces.
They gotta have a black girl.
It looks like that's the way they want to go, but dude, Bond hasn't been Bond since Brosnan left.
True.
Casino Royale was good. It's kind of like the book. But then he goes to shit. Like in order to follow those Bonds, you have to watch them all. They're kind of like part 1, part 2, part 3.
What was the first book?
Casino Royale.
Really?
Yeah.
Because I'm gonna, I want to read them. I've never read any of the James Bond books.
Yeah, they're good. You'd be surprised how good they are. They stand up real well. And I think he wrote this in 56. I think, and then he wrote that. I think then it's the Roger Moore one, The Spy Who Loved Me. I think that's Live and Let Die.
The Spy Who Shagged Me.
Wait till you read that one, Live and Let Die.
Yeah.
When he calls and it's not really racist, but a lot of people think it is. But it wouldn't fly today, the words that he uses. But it's not I don't think it's out of disrespect. The main guy is the black guy like you see in the movie, but he's smart, he's intelligent, he gives him credit, he knows different languages. It's in a way kind of flattering, but people get offended more by the words and the names, but that was the lexicon back then.
Curious to hear what he said.
Read the book. You got to read it, but you might not be able to get it now because I know that they did sensitivity readings on it.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Yeah. So when they said that, I was like, holy shit, Ian Fleming would be fucking losing his shit.
This is complete and total censorship, man. What happened?
That's what that is. That's censorship. Yeah, that was actually one of the first books. I think Dahl was the other one, right? But holy Fleming, they went back and started messing with that. It's like, that's not the way it was written. That is censorship, 100%. Yeah. They would say differently, but that's because they're in their own little world.
Fuck they. Yeah. Anyway, this is the best 16 Candles fucking podcast we've ever done.
Go on. Let's get back to 16 Candles. But we veer off all the fucking time. Yeah. Does it mean anything?
No.
Anybody that listens to us knows it really doesn't mean shit. We're just going in circles.
Yeah. Talking nonsense.
16 Candles. Yeah, that was a great movie. I remember my neighbor absolutely fucking love that movie. And she would, so at that time, dude, I remember this because she had pictures of him all over her wall and her. Dweezil Zappa. She was dating Dweezil Zappa, and he had that green guitar. Do you remember that green guitar?
Yep.
And he was, I think, at least back then, guitarists were a big thing. That's when we still played guitar.
Right.
Nowadays, they just put it on a synthesizer and whip it out.
Right. Whip it out.
Yeah.
Keep it in your pants.
I remember that, dude, because she's like, oh my God. And she's like, did you see that somebody didn't somebody get like a tattoo of her? I think it was Dweezil Zappa, but she would always keep me filled in on all the gossip about. What was her damn name again? I forget.
Molly Ringwald.
Molly Ringwald, yeah. But she was a big Molly Ringwald fan.
I just almost didn't watch 16 Candles because of her. There was just something about her that annoyed the crap out of me. And I can't even tell you what it is. It's not fair, but it's just, it's just the way it is.
I get it. Do you think that it was the red hair? Do you think? Because
I think it's,
but red hair was kind of popular then, right? Like,
I think it's more so that she probably reminded me of somebody I didn't like.
Yeah, she wasn't pretty.
No,
she wasn't ugly.
She's pretty ugly.
Yeah. You think she was ugly?
I wouldn't say
she didn't.
She was not very attractive to me.
Yeah, like we're talking 16 Candles. We'll talk about Jake Ryan's girlfriend. Oh, she's pretty fucking hot in that, right?
Smoking.
Yeah,
yeah. Which begs the question. Why?
Why what?
Why did he go from her to Molly Ringwald?
I don't know, dude, but he scored with it. I mean, look how he did with her. He did real well with her. There was something about her that girls liked. Yeah. I mean, maybe that was the beginning of the non-threatening, like today, they're all just fat. Maybe back then it was like, well, we can't go all fat like that because no one's going to believe it. Maybe we go thick-skinned redheaded girl.
Thick skin. I think she just came across as a fucking whiner to me. I think that's what it
She was a whiner, right?
Yeah. You know, nobody remember my birthday. And nobody
You're
shut
right.
the
God,
fuck
you're
up.
so right. And then in Breakfast Club too, right? She was
Yeah.
fucking snotty little
Yep.
snarky
Little
frickin'.
prissy,
But
rich
Bender just
bitch.
lays her in her fucking place, right? Bender.
Yeah, you know what do they call them? They call them the Brat Pack.
Brat Pack, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was after the St. Elmo's fire. Did you ever? There was a big article written on it. I think it was Rolling Stone. But he went and followed him around. He followed. That was when they were on top of the world. It was Rob Lowe, Judd Nelson, Emilio Estevez. And they were getting ready to do St. Elmo's fire.
Whatever happened to Emilio Estevez?
I think he directs now.
Huh.
Yeah, I think.
I think the Mighty Ducks fucked him over.
I've never seen one of those fucking stupid things, man. Like, I wasn't buying into that. Not after watching him in the 80s do what he did with, like, I couldn't watch.
He said he's someone in there with a hockey stick up his ass.
Yeah, he was. Oh, Young Guns. He was in Young Guns. I remember that. And then he went on and did fucking Mighty Ducks. Dude, when you're doing Mighty Ducks after Young Guns, that's like life preserver shit. Like someone threw him a rope. You know, like, here, try this.
Here's a hint, buddy. Find another career.
Right. He's probably taking care of his brother and keeping him out of fucking rehab.
Highly doubtful.
Yeah, so the guy followed him around. There's a good story behind that because he followed him around. They thought it was going to be a fluff piece. Like, he's going to fucking brag us up. And he just followed around and seen how they lived. And he goes, fuck, this is a bunch of entitled schmucks. They're all like, because they all were. All their families and shit were all rich socialites from that town.
What's his name, too? Iron Man.
Downey Jr., yeah. Yep. Jamie Gertz. He was in Weird Science, yeah. But he wasn't part of the Brat Pack. So the Brat Pack...
He kind of started coming on towards the end when Less Than Zero, you know, he started kind of trying to work his way in.
He never officially made it. There's only one person who never... I think it's because he only did one movie with them. And I think that was St. Elmo's Fire. But it was Andrew McCarthy. He got thrown in there.
Yep.
Emilio Estevez, Rob Lowe, Judd Nelson, Molly Ringwald, Demi Moore,
Jamie Gertz.
No, she wasn't part of it. There was somebody else that was in the movie, but because they only did Mare Winningham, who was in St. Elmo's Fire, she never made it because she went on and just did her own thing and never did another movie with them again. But what it ended up doing was, I think a lot of them think it blew their career because it exposed them. Like, that was our first glimpse of what these Hollywood types were like.
Right.
And that's what they got known as. And it stung. Like, Andrew McCarthy said that afterwards he had a real tough time. Like he was just, fuck, I just made a couple movies with them. Next thing I know, I'm like, you know.
Oh, what's the other dude's name too? He was part of that group, I think. He was in Blacklist.
Spader.
Yeah.
He didn't make he wasn't part of the Brat Pack.
That dude always annoyed me too, man. I don't know what it was.
Yeah, because the guy covered Timothy Hutton. Timothy Hutton had just won for Ordinary People, I believe. He won that Academy. So he was a big name. So he was in an article, and Sean Penn was in an article, and the guy was just basically talking about all of them. Like, look at these fucking. He went out with them, and they were like,
just assholes.
Just do what they want. They just own that town, and he was just like, this is what, it just kind of ruined them.
Well, maybe you should have behaved better.
Right.
The world needs ditch diggers too, by God.
It sure does.
But
well, remember how Rob Lowe was like super good looking, so all the fucking he was getting all the women. I remember reading the article, and they were like women just falling all over him, and the rest of the guys were like, "What about me?
What about you?" He was a pretty motherfucker.
He really was. And even now, going back and watching that movie, it's like, God damn, that was a good looking guy.
I'd break him down like a shotgun.
But there's so many guys that you see today, and people try to tell you, oh, he's a handsome. They say, there's like,
compared to what, you know?
Yeah, right. Like compared to
that fucking knothole in the tree over there.
Yeah. There's like, I don't think there's a whole lot of people you could show St. Elmo's Fire to Rob Lowe in his prime, and they wouldn't go, wow, that was
right. They make your panties fall right off.
Who's that sound like? Like
I don't-
Laverne and Shirley or somebody squiggy?
I don't know. Just a voice that popped in my head.
So, what was your take on like Demi Moore back then? Because kind of the same era, not 16 Candlelish, but
I didn't give her much thought.
mhm.
I really didn't. And then she really lost me with G.I. Jane.
I never seen that, dude.
Don't
no
ever.
fucking way.
Don't.
I did go pay to see Showgirls. Was it Showgirls? No, what was the other one? Stripper?
Oh, Striptease.
Yeah, Striptease. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was fucking terrible. Man, she was hot in that.
I'll give you that. But
Yeah.
I never saw that movie. Wasn't Burt Reynolds in it?
Yeah.
Oh
I think he was
God.
up front of No, that was Boogie Nights, right?
Oh, probably.
But dude, I love Burt. You just can't go wrong with Burt.
You can now.
Well, he's dead.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, good old Burt.
Burt. Yeah, that whole group of movies, it was just they were just fun to watch, man. And watch them over and over again. It's 16 Candles held up pretty well, in my opinion. After watching it a couple months ago, I'd have to go back. I'd like to go back and watch Weird Science, although I have a feeling. Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Still great. That's Robert Downey Jr.
Oingo
Ian Michael
Boingo.
Smith, isn't Ian Michael? Yeah, Oingo Boingo.
Kelly
Dead Man's
LeBrock.
Party.
Yep.
Yeah, Kelly LeBrock. She's looking a little bit different. She's dead now, right? Is she dead?
I don't know. If she's not, she's probably got one foot in the grave.
Diabetes or something got her. I could be wrong.
Diabetes.
So if you're not Kelly, I apologize. I do that all the time. Isn't she dead? Because my wife will go home and go, she's not dead. And I'm like, oh fuck. And she goes, you're gotta stop doing that.
Right.
And I go, why? And she goes, well, it's just like, what if they're not dead?
Well, it's just a precursor because we're all gonna fucking die. So
Mhm.
you're ahead of the game.
Yeah. Maybe she's not. I apologize.
You know what we say in the military: if you're on time, you're late. If you're early, you're on time. So you're just on time, brother.
Yeah. Weird Science is great. All those Hughes movies are great, dude.
I see. I can still remember. Remember when they're in the bar, and it was the all
and it's
black
smoking
bar?
dope, right? Yeah. Yo, man,
Give me the keys. I drive.
Yeah.
See, the problem
It's a
is,
good movie, dude.
chicks can't hold the smoke.
Yeah, I watched it a couple years ago with my kids, and they fucking loved it.
I can't believe I still remember that.
Yeah,
shit.
it's great.
Man.
I'm gonna watch it tonight.
She kicked me in the family jewels. Oh no, the family jewels in the jewels.
That's a good movie. Hughes knew how to do it, right?
Well, let's give credit to the young buck.
Yeah, but he knew how to spot that talent,
Yeah.
right? And another thing that Hughes was great at was he hated fucking Hollywood. Like he
That's a
hated,
big plus.
dude. One of the things where he would, because he was from Chicago, so like when they would do, when he got a little bit wiser to the game, they would want to have like meetings, and he goes, "No, you come up here and we'll have a fucking luncheon here." You go to a luncheon in fucking California, it's all just about being seen, talking, having drinks, who you know, no business gets done.
Right.
You sit around and it's just who you fucking know, and that's how it gets done.
I hate that shit.
Well, he left. Remember, he just disappeared, went hiatus, which is fucking nuts, dude, because he was just producing hit after hit after hit. I mean, think of like Christmas Vacation, Home Alone, like and on.
Did he do Gross Point Blank?
He might have.
Because that was also another John Cusack movie with Minnie Driver.
I don't know. I'm gonna look it up.
It seemed it just feels like one of his projects. I don't remember who did that. I've watched that movie half a dozen different times too, but
like Great Outdoors, that's one of my favorite movies, period. Because me and my daughter can always watch that together, so it has kind of a special place. But he died August 6th, 2009. He wasn't that old either.
Damn. It was Hollywood. Hollywood killed him.
Okay, some movies. Ferris Bueller's. The Breakfast Club, 16 Candles, Pretty in Pink, Uncle Buck, which is a classic.
Did he? That's a great movie.
Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, Home Alone, Weird Science, National Lampoon's Vacation, National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, Some Kind of Wonderful, Home Alone 3. That might have been the end of his career.
Yeah.
He's like, you know what? It's not worth it.
You shouldn't have pushed it, pal.
Curly Sue, never seen that. I remember
Never
seeing
either.
parts of it. She's having a baby. Nah. Home Alone 4. He had to be dead at that 2002. No. Career Opportunity. That's Jennifer Connelly, right? God, she was fucking. She's still hot. I just seen her in something, and she's like 65.
No
I'm probably saying
way.
she's old, but dude, she
No
looks fucking
way.
still great. That is
Jennifer
just like
Connelly
a beautiful
is
woman.
not 65. No way. We're gonna have to look this up because I'm not
Like
buying
that
that.
might be one of the best looking Hollywood women. I mean, her and Andy McDowell, dude. Like, I seen a movie the other night with Andy McDowell, and she's fucking old, and she looks great.
She's fit. She was born literally 5 days before I was.
Oh no shit.
Yeah. So watch your mouth with that old shit, pal. That's all I'm
All
gonna
right,
say.
dude. I thought she was older than that. My bad.
You saw her probably in Maverick,
Maverick.
Top Gun 2.
Oh yeah, dude, she still look great.
Yeah.
But Andy McDowell, dude, look her up.
She's-
She was in St.
She's
Elmo's
probably
Fire,
in her 60s.
and she's a naturally pretty woman, right? Like, does that make sense?
Yeah.
Baby's Day Out. No one's seen that. Dennis the Menace. Wow.
Oh God.
Mr. Mom.
She's 65.
Wow. Dude, look at her.
Yeah.
I mean, that's.
Look at all that gray.
I mean, she doesn't give a shit. She's like, I'm still hot. Look at
Right.
this.
I mean, yeah. Anyway.
Miracle on 34th Street, 94. Vegas Vacation, Flubber, Dutch, Beethoven. Okay, so he's got some turds in here. Only the Lonely, which is okay. I seen that in the theater. Drillbit Taylor, 1984. The Fifth Element. Made in Manhattan. 101 Dalmatians, the 96 version, because there's like fucking 60 of those. This story sucks. He's got a lot, and some of these I've never heard of. So let's just focus on the ones we've heard of. Skyline was terrible. That's 2019. He was fucking dead then. He didn't have anything. It says here Skyline 2019. He's been dead for 10 years at that point. So now someone's lying.
Not for nothing. It's on the internet, so it's true.
Wow. Yeah. So right here, underneath Skyline, made in 2019, says John Hughes, 1950 to 2009. Now my math, I'm not a genius.
Something ain't adding up.
No, it's not.
Interesting.
Anyhow, he did some classics. 16 Candle, I think, probably one of the better ones.
Remember the chick with the brace thing, whatever the hell it was?
Joan Cusack.
Yeah,
that's
but I mean,
John Cusack's sister.
It's just a weird character, man.
Yeah, she was in when I first seen her was My Bodyguard. Do you remember that?
Oh yeah.
She was friends of the dork that was getting picked on. What's his name? Chris.
That one guy.
No, what was he was Chris Making Shift. Making shit
up.
Making
is what it is.
It was Chris Make a Piece. Chris Make a Piece. And he was remember that movie, dude? That was on HBO all the time. And I think we all could relate to that.
Yeah.
Right? Because it was like, there's that motherfucker. And when that Mike comes up and he's like, remember he takes his bike, and I remember being just heartbroken. That bike they built.
Yeah.
And did I give a thumbs down?
I don't think you did,
but that was anyhow, yeah. That was a great movie.
I watched that one a lot too, man. I could relate to that because I got picked on always being the new kid. You know? So I could definitely relate to that.
I think everybody can. At some point, we all felt like that. Maybe not to that extreme,
right?
But it was a huge. I think that movie was a surprise hit. Like nobody expected it to be big. It was just kind of released, and it went on to just kill it. And then it went on the cable and grew that cult because that movie was on all the fucking time.
And I probably watched it every time.
Dude, because. It was such a good if you can get past the whole subway scene. Remember when he tells him about his brother Lindemann, tells him what really happened because remember his brother he shot his brother in the head, man. And it turns out he tells the story about like, well, his brother committed suicide and he was right there to witness it. It fucked him up. That's kind of hard to watch. And there's the moments with Ruth Gordon. Remember, like because there's Martin Mull was his dad. Ruth Gordon was his grandma, I think, right? And but
God, she was hot.
Yeah, she's especially hot in Every Which Way But Loose.
Right Turn, Clyde. What a great movie that one was.
Oh, so good.
See, that's when you could be a man
Yeah.
and not get chastised for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm on that kick again. But I said we wouldn't go.
No, we
down.
can go there.
I don't really want to go there.
But the movies were completely different. I mean, you know, for better, for worse, were there things wrong with them that might not be socially acceptable today?
Mhm.
Yeah, like we could talk about the rape by deception or something like that. But there's no, you can't point to like you're saying the masculinity and go, there's something wrong with that, because there's not. That's a view of perception. Look, those same men that you hated are the same guys that fought us through the wars, that had parents that came to the wars. A lot of those guys, and that's why they were that way. Now you're getting these pansies because they haven't fought in wars. They've lost nobody in war. They've
been handed everything.
Their
whole life. You know, they're entitled. They expect everything to be given to them. All right, I'm not getting down this road again. Well, Jesus Christ. Well, hey, look at that. We're right at an hour.
Well, we can cut it.
Yeah, I'd say we'll just wrap it up a little bit. And hey, for all you 1.5 listeners in the demographics out there, if you have a nostalgically cool topic that you want to discuss, just let us know, and we won't do it.
Yeah, we need some ideas. That was a great one, by the way. I was real happy, man. I was like, oh, fuck, Andy's got an idea. Let's do this. Let's roll with it.
It doesn't happen very often.
Well, we haven't really sat down since the fire.
Right.
Yeah. What was that? I seen a movie the other day, and I thought to myself, that's so things we lost in the fire. And we lost, it's an actual movie.
Oh, shit.
So, like, apparently, like, it happens a lot. But we were talking about that earlier. We were talking to our mortgage guy, and he said about a lot of the fires were the EV vehicles.
Yeah.
Dude, I was looking at flooring the other night for my rebuild, and one of the things the guy said, what did he say?
Saturday morning cartoons. Oh, that's great.
Oh, dude, we could really do that one.
Building bicycle
the
jumps.
Smurfs, the Flintstones,
BB gun. I don't know what stompers are.
BB gun lights.
Fights.
Oh, fights. Fuck, dude.
Hell yeah, we used to do that shit.
Stompers. Holy shit.
What's Stompers?
Daryl. Yeah, so Stompers was it's a little battery powered. Yeah, like I think it was one double A battery, and you flip a little switch, and they had big like mutter tires.
Oh yeah,
and you just let them go. They're worth. I had a couple of them, but they're worth a lot of money today.
I bet they are. Great topics.
By the way, one of the things I got to show you that I just recently added, it doesn't come out till.
Keep that in your pants.
Not that. I'll show you that later.
Great idea, Israel.
That is a great idea. So we could do.
I like the Saturday morning cartoon.
I like this toy. We could do Stompers, but do toys.
We could do that too. And they flew. Jesus.
They did?
They blow you while you're at it? I mean.
What does it say? You could modify them to fit?
A 9-volt battery, and they flew.
Oh, went faster is what he means. Yeah. I'll bet they would.
Wasn't the flying I was thinking of.
I was thinking, I remember them, and I'm pretty sure they didn't fly. Let me see if I can find this real quick, because you're going to love this.
Yeah.
But that's a great one. Saturday morning cartoon. So where would we could do 70s because we grew up then. We could do 80s.
Oh, there's so many. Man.
We could do 70s and then do 80s.
Yeah, they don't even really charts. They don't have Saturday morning cartoons anymore.
No, I found this the other day in the store, by the way. This is real. I had to take a picture of it because it's fucking hilarious.
Berry Pebbles? We
Berry
no longer
Pebbles,
call them fruity?
Women Who Rock, and it's got all women on the front.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
like I had to show that to all my daughter and my wife to go, you guys have been waiting for this, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. They're about fucking time.
Bonnie!
Yeah. It's like, man, how much you talk about being like overcompensated. Like
they think they're on the cover. All right, with that, we're gonna wrap it up. Hey, thanks everybody for watching and participating, and thanks for the ideas, real man. Those are great.
Yeah, those are great.
I'm really digging that Saturday morning.
I say we do that
cartoon
next
one, man.
week.
All right, next week it is. We're gonna do cartoons. Bye, everybody. Peace out.